can be anywhere you are on any dimension. And I'm a firm believer that the people in heaven are not necessarily in bliss. That you are, whatever condition you're in, you still have to work through that. That's your relationship with God. That's your relationship with your Creator. And whatever level you're on is just a level you're using to work through it. I asked Yeshua what happens when, I said, well, tell me what happens when somebody dies. Can you walk me through this and let me see, what happens? And he said, well, the soul disengages from its physical house, but not completely for 3 days. He said it takes 3 days and he said the transition for 3 days is a very private transition, where the soul decides what it will give forth into other life forms, what it will give back to the earth, what it will give to others, and what the soul will take with it. And those are 3 days of review for the soul. Yes?
Is that happening? Like if you were to see a person in the process of dying, they're doing that while you're seeing them?
Probably not until they actually separate from the body. But he said that the 3 days after death are a sacred time to be respected, as if a person were in their own holy temple making eternal decisions about their life. Those days are to be respected, those 3 days. And then at the end of the 3 days, whatever has been determined to be done with the body can be done. The way I would see this now, if I were writing my own will, I would say that not even a memorial service would be held for 3 days. That I would wish to be privately with my personal temple for 3 days before even a memorial service was happening. And then he said even then the substance of the body doesn't actually die. It just transfigures into other chemicals. It turns into a different chemical substance. The adamantine particles that are part of the body, they return to the life flow of human DNA and carry with it memories of your life. So as you live your life, you leave a legacy for future generations to inherit that legacy. So that the memory of your life will be carried on the adamantine particles back into the DNA of the human race. There are certain elements of the body, perhaps calcium, magnesium, just the basic chemical elements that will return to the earth and leave in the earth an imprint of your life, an imprint of what was lived through the use of those chemicals. And so all of life contributes everything. In other words, you don't die. The story breaks down. In other words, the story you get to decide in the 3 days what part of the story you want to take with you, what part of the story you want to contribute back to the earth, and what part will remain for future inheritance, what part will remain for humanity to inherit and learn from. And this leads to another very poignant part of the message that he told me about many people choose to be born to finish the hard lessons of the past. And they actually suffer, not for suffering's sake, but they suffer to end the old stories. They will choose to live a life of suffering to end the suffering. That they see that this legacy was left within the human DNA, and someone has to pick it up and end it. Someone has to pick it up, live the story and end the story, transmute the story, elevate the story to a higher plane, because it was left behind. Many people who suffer are suffering not for themselves or for their private story, but they are suffering for others. Just as you asked, did I come to this seminar for me or for someone else? We share a common history of human experience. When one human suffers, we all suffer. And it becomes the legacy of the next generation. Every war is left as a legacy for the next generation to heal or to live through. And unfortunately, we're repeating it as reenactment of war instead of lifting it up to the resolution and ending of war. Yes, we will inherit what came from the past, but we don't have to re-dramatize it. We don't have to live it at that level. We don't have to turn it into massacre and brutality. We'll have to confront it because it's there in our human DNA. We'll have to realize that there's something in our human DNA that wants to fight when it doesn't trust someone who looks different from us. Or when someone transgresses on our property, we'll want to strike back. We have to realize and capture that energy that wants to fight back because it's there. It's a force we've inherited. But do we have to actually fight back? No, we don't. We don't. We have to recognize it. It's there. This is what I was trying to get you to see yesterday about the authentic experience that lies inside your stories. There's an authentic experience that you need to seize and look at.